Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing some Raid Shadow Legends, and yeah, I started thinking about something. I've read some comments here and there. Thank you for all the lovely comments. I appreciate them a lot. Today we're going to do a lot of things. We're going to make a guide. But I would like to say that someone pointed out that, oh, I'm not progressing much anymore. And I don't have a lot of gems or whatever, and I've stopped caring, and I have not, to an extent, okay? They say I have a lot of stamina. I do. I'm very inactive on the account, and that's a little bit because I have done so much on the game already. And another reason is I am working a lot, so those reasons combined makes me feel inefficient in the game in a way. Yeah, I do want to play it more, but it seems like the overall interest of the game for myself, and I think many others, has declined because the developers haven't chosen to make the game like the players want it to be. But anyway, here we are. I've used a headset today. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry for putting this into a guide, but what other videos do I talk? This is Raid Shadow Legends related. Anyway, welcome to another guide video. So today we're going to tackle clan boss masteries. Because a lot of people have been asking me, oh, they would like a mastery guide in a way, and I've already done a mastery guide, I believe, on certain heroes. I think I've done an overall one as well. I will link a Reddit page down in the description, and hopefully I will remember this. I was quiet so I can see it in the recording that I have to do it in case I forget. So yeah, what does make for a good mastery setup overall? Because many people have many different heroes. That's just how it is. So I will just give a guide based on how many hits your hero does. And how many hits your hero does essentially will be my guide in a way how it will be handled. So if your hero does 3 or more hits in a single skill, so not attacks one enemy 2 times, then it's different. But like, let's see here, who does multiple hits? I know Gurgrab does, I believe. Who does? Apothecary, he hits many times, so he attacks 3 times at random. What that means is that you need to go for Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer is fantastic against the clan boss, because if you do hit like once, the Giant Slayer can trigger and it can deal a lot of damage. So Giant Slayer is very useful for people who do more than 2 hits against the enemy. And for people who do 2 hits or less, I would use War Master. That way you can kind of choose which one you want. So yeah, that's you need to have offense masteries on everyone essentially when it comes to the clan boss. I'm not fully, yeah, I would probably go for the Deadly Precision, and yeah, this is kind of saying against how I've built it. And then I would do crit damage, then I would do again damage inflicted with full health, because most likely if you have a good clan boss team, you will always have a lot of health, and that's just how it works. You can choose Life Drinker. And that's not too bad, genuinely, Life Drinker, because if you have Giant Slayer and you deal 70,000 damage extra, you're healing a lot. So I think Life Drinker could be very useful here. And then damage increases damage inflicted to targets with less than 40% HP by 8%. That's also useful, because if the boss does have less than 40% health, which it may have for all your keys essentially, it means you just have a straight up 8% more damage, which does help with the Giant Slayer as well. So those 2 are useless, which means I suppose you do want to just go for Wrath of the Slain, maybe. Yeah, that's literally your only choice. No, never mind. You can also go for this one. I'm just the template is messing me up. And also Bring It Down is just essentially you having a 6% attack buff. So Wrath of the Slain isn't too bad either. But then again, you possibly don't even need to have that happen. You know, maybe you don't need that, because we could have more important stuff down here. I mean, instead of Wrath of the Slain, we could have, for example, just having a chance of decreasing the cooldown of a skill is placed by this champion if the target is done. This could be useful for someone who is actually healing, for example, Steel Skull, so that's not too bad. Let's see here. I think the boss is immune to turn meter decreasing, so that's not really useful. So yeah, you can really choose between just having a 5% chance of reducing the cooldown. Because you will have a lot of turns. You will have so many turns. If you have a good team, you can do 2 turns before the boss does 1 on certain occasions. And you will just have a lot of extra turns, and that could give Cycle of Magic a nice little benefit. But there's such a low likelihood. So I suppose I would probably just stick with Wrath of the Slain. Unless you have... unless it's on the hero which dies first, then I would probably go for the... Cycle of Magic, and if you have a healer / someone who's supporting you, then someone who is healing you and the shield stuff, like for example Steel Skull, then I would use Merciful Aid. It's not too bad of a mastery regardless. And then we head over here. This is kind of for each enemy kill streak is really. It's kind of useless, to be honest, because it's for each enemy killed, which means it's useless because the clan boss won't get killed. So you could potentially... And Blood Shield is also useless, but I suppose if you are using Giant Slayer, then you should want to just go for that to make it work. But if you're going for War Master... I would probably use Methodical and then War Master. I wouldn't want to use Killstreak at that point. And yeah, for each debuff, yeah, I don't know. Not too much of the tier 5 on the tree is too useful in the offense department. But here, however, for each dead ally, that's not too bad if you have like someone who's going to revive, for example, an Arbiter. But then again, I don't know. To extend the duration of any buff, this is very useful. So yeah, if you did go for Merciful Aid or Cycle of Magic, and your hero is a buffer, or your champion, then Lasting Gifts is fantastic. Another thing which is fantastic is this one, Master Hexer. This is extremely useful for Steel Skull, for example. Because he will extend poison or whatever the debuffs. This is great. This is great for a debuffer, and this is great for a buffer. You could technically use Cycle of Magic and Lure of Steel and use both of these. Use that one and that one. That wouldn't be too bad either if your hero is a buffer and a debuffer, which does exist. And yeah, then obviously Giant Slayer. It's also very useful. And then we head over to the support tree. Obviously, if accuracy is the best, again, this is just a bad hero in general. Yeah, it's just bad. I need to change him. Anyway, accuracy is the best. And depending if your hero does give like healing or whatever, then you can build it from that. But yeah, overall, let's say for an offense hero, which does debuffs, then you would want accuracy, and then you would want this accuracy as well, so double accuracy here. And then you have one choice here, which in my opinion, when a debuff is removed or expires, I would also probably not... I'm not sure if I would do Swarm Smiter, because it's just one enemy, it's 4 accuracy. I think that I would have the increased turn meter thing, because if you do like 3 times, for example, let's say you have a Tomb Lord and he does 2 rounds poison 4 times. For each and every time that they trigger off, you will just get an insane amount of turn meter boost. I probably would do Arcane Celerity. And then I would head over for Lure of Steel, and as we talked about, either Merciful Aid if you have like a healer, and then either Cycle of Magic if you just want to have a chance of, if you have a lot of rounds. But I would probably, I don't fully know. I think I may have actually gone for Cycle of Magic, because that could, if you do buffs and debuffs, Master Hexer and Lasting Gifts is an insane combination, to say the least. And yeah, if you do heal and everything, I would obviously go for the accuracy here, and I would go for the accuracy here. Then you would have to go for Swarm Smiter if you wanted to go further there. And then you could also just, you know, here we have two options. So if you went for this one, you could, yeah, you could go for Rapid Response. And that's also good. Then you will just get even more turn meter buffs, which means you will have more turns. And then yeah, here as we have spoken. But yeah, it's interesting for sure. Obviously the healing is very useful, but then again, I think this is a fair thing to do when it comes to the clan boss. And there is lists. I'm not sure if there should be lists over how much speed you need for each clan boss. Someone could also tell it in the comments. And what kind of accuracy you need for each of them. And then you can build your team accordingly. But yeah, this is at least the Master Race portion. And I just have to say immediately, I may be wrong. I'm probably wrong on many of these masteries. And I'm sorry. I'm not an expert. I'm doing poorly in the clan boss. But from what I've understood, turn meter buffs on your champions, and extending debuffs on the boss, and extending buffs on yourself, and Giant Slayer and Warmaster, that's some good things to do versus the boss. And accuracy is obviously very useful against a clan boss. Anyway, I think that's about it. Thanks guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. What other guides do you want?